Welcome back to our channel. Today I'm going to explain a movie called Wish Dragon. Get comfortable. In the film, an unknown man tries to enter the gates of the spirit world but is refused entry. The man argues with the guard who blocks his path. Presently, a little boy, Din, draws a picture of a dragon in class, and the other children make fun of him. Din becomes sad and sits by himself. Suddenly, a sad little girl joins him and shows him a dragon drawing. The two instantly realize they both have an interest in dragons. After school hours, no one comes to pick Din up from school, upsetting him again. As the other children go home with their parents, they make fun of him, worsening things. However, the girl from earlier joins him again and introduces herself as Lina. Lina explains that her dad picks her up late, too, and they walk home together, cheering Din up. Subsequently, Lina and Din become best friends and spend much time together as the years pass. Lina asks Din to promise they will be best friends forever, further cementing their friendship. However, shortly after, Lina has to leave her father, leaving Din dejected. Years later, Din is now a working-class college student in Shanghai. He works as a dispatch writer to earn extra cash for a surprised birthday gift for Lina, whom he hasn't seen in years. Din has been absent for 2 weeks and asks his new best friend, Wei, to help him with his assignments. On his last delivery, Din delivers soup to a mysterious elderly man who gives him a teapot instead of money. He hurries off to purchase a cheap suit and returns home. At home, his family members cheer for him as he is about to complete his college degree, after which they hope he will get a job and look after them. However, Wei interrupts with a copy of the assignment Din requested, unintentionally revealing that he has been skipping classes. His mother is furious and scolds him. Din apologizes and keeps to himself in his room. That night, he sneaks out of the house, dressed in the suit he purchased earlier. Moments later, on a rooftop, he contemplates what to say to Lina when he sees her. Unfortunately, his cheap suit begins to rip out, making him sad. Din is overwhelmed by everything going wrong that night and wishes that he could keep his promise to Lina. Suddenly, the teapot lights up, and a wish dragon named Longzhu emerges. Longzhu is surprised that his new master is a peasant boy who doesn't believe in magic. Long explains that to be free from servitude, he must serve 10 masters, and Din is his final master. Granting Din's wishes will allow him to enter the spirit world. In the meantime, 3 henchmen, Pockets, and his men search for the teapot. Din wishes for the ability to fight off the goons, and Longzhu grants his wish, allowing Din to easily take out the men and escape. The goons return to their disappointed employer, who motivates the men to hunt down Din by promising them an insanely huge payment. The next day, Din wakes up believing that the previous night's events were a dream, but when he finds the teapot in his room, he is convinced they were not. Later, Din asks Longzhu to accompany him to Lina's birthday party. On the way, Longzhu is amused by a lot of modern innovations. Longzhu doesn't enjoy traffic and says he would rather be in the teapot for 1,000 years than spend a few hours in traffic. Longzhu becomes frustrated and decides to fly them to the party, where Din discovers Lina is in a different social class than him. He wishes to be a rich princeling for one day, hoping Lina will remember him and their friendship. Longzhu is surprised that Din is a simpleton and considers him naive and stupid for wasting his chances of having anything in the world in an instant over friendship. Longzhu grants his wish, and Din arrives as one of the wealthy guests at the party with Longzhu as a human personal assistant. Lina doesn't recognize Din during the party, and his feelings are hurt. Moments later, Lina is disappointed when she learns her father will not attend her birthday party, causing her to run off and cry. Din follows her and cheers her up, making Lina feel better. However, since Lina still doesn't recognize him, Din sticks to his disguise and introduces himself as Dan. Shortly after, Mr. Wang video calls Lina to apologize for being unable to attend her birthday party because of work. He notices Din and mistakes him for the son of a wealthy businessman. He suggests he go on a date with his daughter since they are both from respectable families. Lina agrees, and Din is excited. In the meantime, Mr. Wang receives a call from an investor who intends to end his business partnership since his company is bankrupting. Mr. Wang contacts Pockets, revealing that he hired Pockets to recover the teapot in hopes of saving his failing business. After the party, Longzhu warns Din that Lina will leave him when she discovers his true identity. Still, Din believes that their friendship is beyond social status. That night, Din argues with his mother, who suspects he has not been himself, and goes to bed on an empty stomach. Longzhu feels sorry for Din's peasant life. The next day, during the date, Din asks Longzhu for advice on how to act according to his new social status. Still, he ends up upsetting Li Na since Longju's advice is that he should be self-centered and arrogant. Li Na is disappointed and thinks Dan is like every other wealthy person who only cares about their wealth and influence. Before Din can apologize, the goons return to capture him. Din fights them off using the skills he wished for earlier. After the chase, they end up in Din's neighborhood, and Din reveals his identity to Li Na, who is happy to be back in her old neighborhood. They spend the rest of the day at Din's house, and it seems like they will become best friends again. However, that night, Li Na explains to Din that she has responsibilities and expectations to meet and wants to please her father. Her words cut Din deep, causing him to angrily ask Longju to make him rich and powerful like Li Na. Longju hesitates and reveals that he used to be a wealthy and powerful lord born into affluence. Longju believed the meaning of life was about riches and fame, but on his deathbed, Longju was abandoned by everyone. On getting to the gates of the spirit world, Longju is denied entrance, revealing that he is the unknown man trying to enter the gates of the spirit world. Longju was punished by the gods for his selfishness by becoming a wish dragon so he could learn to appreciate the meaning of life. Longju had failed to understand the importance of life with all of his previous masters, but Din had taught him to enjoy life. In the meantime, Mr. Wang contacts Pockets and asks if he has finally retrieved the teapot, but Li Na interrupts his call. She tells him that the boy she had gone on a date with was her childhood friend, Din, unintentionally revealing to her father that Din is the boy his goons are looking for. Mr. Wang tracks down Din and asks him to surrender the teapot, but Pockets betrays him by taking the teapot for himself. Pockets wish that Longju gives him the ability to turn everything he touches to gold and drops Mr. Wang from a large scaffolding, causing him to fall. Li Na arrives too late and sees her father mortally wounded. He apologizes for not being there for her while trying to give her a better life. In the meantime, Din chases Pockets and his henchmen and engages him in combat. Pockets overpower Din and prepare to hit him with his golden hand, but Longju puts himself in the way, causing him to turn into a gold statue. Pockets also accidentally touch himself and turn into a gold statue. Meanwhile, Din tries to stop Longju's statue from sinking to the bottom of a river while Pockets shatters to pieces against the ground. Moments later, Longju finds his human self back at the entrance to the spirit world as he has now fulfilled his mission. Still, he refuses to enter since he has yet to grant Din his third wish. The Guardian agrees on one condition, and Longju returns to the human world, where Din uses his last wish to heal Mr. Wang. Din returns home to his mother, and she apologizes for not giving him the life he wants. Suddenly, Mr. Wang and Li Na arrive to thank him for saving her father's life. Sometime later, Mr. Wang starts a restaurant with Din's mother's cooking. While Din is helping, he finds a teapot with a dragon symbol and opens it. Longju appears and explains that the condition for his return to grant him his last wish was to stay and serve 10 more masters. However, Longju also loves being in the human world and isn't ready to return to the spirit world. Din says goodbye to Longju and places the teapot on a carriage driven by the elderly man who gave him the original teapot. The elderly man is revealed to be the guardian of the gate to the spirit world. That was all from the video. To watch more content like this, subscribe to this channel.